In the gardens of Jetavana, Buddha sat beneath a Bodhi tree, his serene presence calming those around him. His disciples gathered, their faces etched with worry, each bearing creative struggles they could not overcome. Among them was a sculptor, his hands trembling, burdened by the lifeless marble awaiting transformation. A writer knelt beside him, her pen untouched, paper blank and mocking her silent thoughts. The painter stood apart, staring at his unused canvas. Unable to ignite the fire of imagination, Buddha beckoned them closer, his gentle voice flowing like a stream into their hearts and minds. He gestured to the lotus blooming in a pond nearby, its petals glistening in the sunlight. This flower owes its beauty to the mud beneath it, Buddha began, his gaze embracing the disciples. The mud, dark and thick, is the source of life for the radiant lotus you now admire. The sculptor looked puzzled, his voice hesitant. How does this teach me, Lord? The stone defeats me each time I approach. Buddha smiled warmly. Accept the imperfections of your marble, as the lotus accepts the mud that nourishes its roots. You sculpt not to master the marble, but to master your thoughts. Your work mirrors your inner transformation. The writer spoke, her voice strained. But my thoughts are a storm, chaotic and unformed. How can I write amidst this tempest? Buddha replied, his tone steady and calm. Let your thoughts flow onto paper like rain falling on thirsty earth. Let chaos give birth to creativity. The painter finally spoke. My mind feels empty, devoid of color or inspiration. How can I paint from such emptiness? Buddha turned to him. Embrace the emptiness as fertile soil. Each brushstroke is a seed that will grow into form. Creative struggles are not barriers. They are paths. Like the lotus rises from mud, creativity blossoms from adversity. The sculptor, writer, and painter pondered his words, their burdens lightened by the wisdom shared. Buddha then spoke again. Return to your art with patience and humility. Let your work be your teacher and your guide. Creativity is not an external force but an internal awakening. The lotus within you waits to bloom. The disciples bowed deeply, each carrying the image of the lotus within their hearts and minds. Their creative struggles, though unchanged, had shifted in meaning. They now saw the mud as opportunity. They dispersed to their work, their steps lighter, their intentions steadier, their spirits renewed. Buddha watched them leave, his gaze peaceful, knowing they would find their paths amidst life's challenges. The gardens seemed to shine brighter, the lotus in the pond an eternal witness to his teachings, though silence enveloped Jetavana. Buddha's wisdom echoed in the hearts of those seeking its light. Let us return now, Buddha concluded, but carry the stream's wisdom into every ripple life delivers. Walking back together, I absorbed the world's beauty anew, every sound, sight, and sensation colored by Buddha's words. The disciples followed closely, each pondering their struggles. Unable to find clarity in their creative paths, Buddha paused by a still pool, its surface smooth and mirror-like, untouched by the ripples of disturbance. He bent to pick up a small stone, turning to his disciples with a serene expression and unwavering calm. Observe the water, Buddha began, his voice resonating like the river's gentle flow over its rocks and sands. He cast the stone into the pool, breaking the surface. As ripples spread outward in concentric waves, each ripple begins with a single action. Yet its influence spreads far beyond its origin, Buddha continued. The painter stepped forward hesitantly, his voice uncertain. Master, I am paralyzed by fear of the first stroke. How do I begin? Buddha regarded him with compassionate eyes. Make the first stroke, imperfect and hesitant, without fear. The ripples will guide your art. Perfection is not in the first action but in the way its effects unfold, shaping the whole of your creation. The writer spoke next, her voice trembling. And for me, my words freeze before they reach the page. How do I overcome this? Buddha smiled gently. Write one word. Let it flow into the next. Like water rippling outward. Trust the motion it creates. Do not control the ripples. Let them find their natural path. Your words will follow in harmony. The sculptor stepped closer, his voice weighed down by doubt. My chisel feels heavy, master. I cannot carve, no matter how hard I try. Buddha picked up another stone, throwing it with deliberate softness. Let go of the weight in your mind. Begin with one simple strike. Let the ripple of the first action lead you. Do not worry about its perfection, only its movement and intention. The disciples listened intently, their minds soaking in his words like the earth absorbing the river's lifeblood. Buddha gazed at the expanding ripples, their rhythm calming and endless, connecting each wave with the next. Creative blocks are born of fear and hesitation. Fear not the ripple, for it carries the message of renewal. Every action, however small, has meaning. Begin without judgment, and let the ripples guide your progress. The painter resolved to approach his canvas with freedom and courage, releasing himself from the chains of expectation. The writer determined to write her first word, allowing her thoughts to spill like rain onto paper. The sculptor vowed to make his initial strike, trusting the stone and his mind to move in harmony. Buddha watched their resolve strengthen, his presence silent yet profoundly instructive. As stillness enveloped the riverside, the ripples in the pool faded into stillness, leaving behind their invisible echoes in the disciples' hearts. Shadows cannot be held, for they are intangible. Buddha smiled faintly. The disciples carried his teachings within them, their minds rippling with clarity and determination born of newfound understanding. The Ganges seemed to glow with a deeper radiance, its surface reflecting both light and the ripples of wisdom. Another day, another evening, the disciples sat by a fire in Jetavana, its warm glow illuminating their thoughtful faces. Buddha joined them, his presence calm and grounding, as shadows danced on the walls, born of the flickering flames. He observed the shifting shadows and the silent disciples, sensing their continuing struggles and questions seeking answers. Buddha gestured to the shadows, their forms fluid and ever-changing, and began to share his timeless wisdom. Shadows exist because of the flame, he said, his voice steady, yet they hold no power over the light. The sculptor spoke first, his voice hesitant. Master, my doubts feel like these shadows, consuming my mind. How do I overcome them? Buddha turned to him, his gaze compassionate. Focus on your flame, the spark of your intention. Let it burn brighter than your fears. Buddha added another log to the fire, watching the flames embrace it, the crackling merging with the sounds of the grove. Forgiveness is not weakness, Buddha stated, but strength born from understanding the nature of suffering and choosing to release it. The writer spoke next, her voice quiet. Master, my fears silence my words, like shadows hiding in corners. How do I find my voice? Buddha replied, his tone gentle yet firm. Tend to your flame with mindfulness. Each word is a spark, illuminating paths hidden in darkness. Do not fight the shadows. Let them exist, but give your attention to the light guiding you forward. The painter leaned forward, his eyes filled with longing. Master, I feel lost in shadows. How do I bring light to my canvas? Buddha smiled softly. Your canvas is your world. Each stroke is a flame pushing back the shadows, revealing your true vision. Let the flame of your creativity burn steadily. Shadows will wane, their impermanence teaching you resilience and clarity. Have you faced such shadows in your own heart? Buddha asked, his words piercing through layers of my unspoken thoughts. I hesitated, then nodded. Focus on growth, and the illusions will diminish. Creative struggles are shadows testing your resolve. They challenge you to nurture your inner light with patience and determination. The sculptor, resolved to approach his marble with renewed purpose, letting his flame transform doubt into inspiration. The writer determined to embrace her fears, allowing her flame to guide her pen across the pages. The painter vowed to ignite his creativity, trusting his flame to dispel the shadows clouding his imagination. Buddha watched their resolve strengthen, his presence silent yet profoundly supportive. As the firelight danced around them, the shadows on the walls shifted and swayed, reflecting the disciples' inner battles and the light of their intentions. When I opened my eyes, the fire had burned low, its embers glowing softly like the wisdom Buddha shared. Buddha rose, his movements deliberate and graceful. The disciples carried his wisdom within, their creative paths now guided by the enduring flame of intention and focus. Buddha sat in stillness, knowing the light within each disciple would grow and illuminate their journeys forward. The sun set beyond the horizon, its light fading but leaving behind the glow of a lesson learned and embraced. The evening air embraced us, the grove alive with the quiet sounds of nature settling into its rhythm of balance. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.